It's a great opportunity to be talking to Ricardo today. Ricardo is a great foreign trade expert. He works in dealership, brokership. He works in investment. He works with everything related to money. The great thing about Ricardo is also that he is a candidate for the presidential elections in Peru 2021. Ricardo, would you mind introducing yourself and what do you do for business?
Yeah, so basically I work in FX, in the FX markets. I've been working in the for broker dealers in the past 5 years. And actually right now I'm working with an FX hedge fund manager with over 2.8 billion assets under management. And we only do institutional trading. So we not focus on retail. This is only for high net worth individual clients and for institutional clients. So that's different between retail and institutional. With the retail clients, you can work with clients with the small money, you know, like they can start trading with $100 or $1,000, you know, as minimum. In the institutional level is different because you have your funds managed by professionals and professional traders, and the minimum requirements to enter into an institutional FX fund manager is there. It is a minimum of $1 million. So that's why this fund is almost, we're reaching about 3 billion very soon, and we're growing. We are doing very well for our clients. We have a very conservative strategy. We have more, we do more capital conservation instead of taking big leverage and high risk trades. So we're doing between 1 to 7% in a month, only using 1 to 3 leverage. In the other side, when you work for a retail broker give your the client, they give them higher leverage, like 1 to 100, 1 to 500, sometimes 1 to 1,000 leverage. So if you put, you know, leverage can play in your favor or against you because your profit or losses, they magnify, you know, and if you don't put stop loss, you can lose your money or your trade or whatever you were risking on that trade, you know. So that's the risk of FX. So yeah.
So my understanding is that you are trying to keep your clients' money rather than trying risky ways to increase it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's better. Yeah, we do more capital preservation because, you know, you don't want to lose clients' money, because even though when a client enters into the FX market, the risk is of the client, not on the trader, but you don't want to lose clients' money. And well, so far we have 10 years track record, and we have a very good performance. We have over 2,400% compound interest. So we've been doing between 30 to 60% in a year for our clients. So and we're growing fast because last year we were managing 500 million euros. Now we are almost reaching 3 billion. So we are doing well and we have happy clients, you know. So yeah.
What are the requirements to take your position to be able to run the business from your side?
To take a position, you mean a trade?
Yeah.
You mean our strategy? Yeah, we have an algorithm trading system that is a trade following strategy. We don't trade against the market. You know, for example, if the trade is going on an uptrend, we're not going to trade against it. You know, so we are high frequency trading. We're in and out. We take 5, 10, 20 pips and we close and we enter. We use tight spreads. So when your enterprise is right above, right in the market price. So yeah, basically is that's it, you know, trend following strategy. Yeah.
My other question, what are the challenges in this business?
Well, you know, the FX market is a market that is manipulated by the big banks, by the market makers. You know, the big banks, they are the ones who give you liquidity to the brokers. They give liquidity. You know, the liquidity is the instant credit that the broker gives to the client. So let's say you have $1,000 account and you want to trade the Forex market. So you open an account with a Forex broker. Okay. So once you put your money into the broker, you have your platform and you deposit your money and you have your balance, right? So when you hit buy or sell, you automatically your account, it's leverage, let's say 1 to 100. So instead of you having a buying power of 1,000, you have a buying power of 100,000. You know, so and that instant credit, that leverage is given by the big banks, by the big liquidity providers. In this world, in the FX market, there are over 1,000 brokers, FX brokers. And most of them work with all the top big banks, and the big banks, they are the ones who manipulate the market. Sometimes they can move the market sharply. Let me give an example. On August 10, gold dollar dropped like 2,000 pips within one session, within the US session, and that's a big movement. After gold going up for like 1 month, it went up to 2,060, and out of one day went down to 1,860, maybe less, $8,040 per ounce. And that's a killer, you know. A lot of people blown accounts there. Thank God I didn't lose it on that drop. I made it. But, you know, those are things that you need to be aware of. For example, if you are over leveraged and you over traded, you put so many trades and you have low margin, let's say 500% margin, a drop of 300 or 400 pips will kill you. And this was a drop of 2,000 pips, and, you know, it kills. So those are the challenges that you need to be prepared. You need to have a strategy, and you need to have a risk management, meaning that you're not gonna trade and risk all your money in 2-3 trades and have a small margin. Because if the market goes against you, you blow your account and you lose your money, and then you're gonna be blaming the FX market, you know. So it's not the market, it's strategy. That's how it works, you know. Yeah.
Great. What are the advantages of being in this market?
The advantages is that, I mean, you can, if you know how to play the market, you can make good money. And you need to work with a good broker, a broker that's going to pay you. Because if you work with an unregulated broker, let's say you made 50% on your account and you want to withdraw the money. If the broker doesn't want to give you the money, they might not give you the money. You know, they might not let you withdraw your money or even your deposit or your profits. You know, so that's why you need to work with regulated brokers. FCA is a very good regulation. SISEC is a good regulation. Let's say Australia is a good regulation as well. You know, most of the brokers right now, due to the new ESMA regulations back in 2018, they open offshore entities in Cayman Island, in Bahamas, Mauritius, in all these, in BBVI. They opened this branch to be able to give retail client higher leverage, because due to ESMA regulations back in 2018, no FCA broker, Financial Conduct Authority broker, I mean regulated by them, cannot give any more leverage than 1 to 30 to any retail client unless you are a professional trader. And to be a professional trader, you need to have a big account, minimum, I think, $200,000, maybe, no, I think a little bit more. And you have to have a proven track record. So basically what the ESMA has been doing with the retail FX sector, they are shrinking it, you know, like they want you to put more money into your trading because they are giving you day by day less leverage. So 1 to 30 is, I mean, it's a good leverage if you compare it to when you trade equities. Equity, you might have 1 to 2, 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 4, maybe, I don't, you know. And 1 to 30 is a good leverage, but if you compare it, you know, to 1 to 100 or 1 to 500 leverage, that's a big difference, you know. And a lot of people like to double, they like to double account within 1 week. The good thing in Forex is that you can double one account in 1 week. You know, if you hit it right, if you hit it right, you can double it or you can lose it as well, you know. But those are high risk strategies that I would not recommend to any retail trader, because you can lose your money, you know. It's better to have a slow and consistent returns. I would say 5, 10, 20% in a month is good. You know, you keep your account safe and you can double within 6 months or maybe 1 year. Because the market, the Forex market, it give you money, it give you a lot of pips to make, and also it takes out of you, you know. It give you, I mean, if you know how to play, you can make a lot of money. If you don't know, you will lose it, and then you're gonna be discouraged, you know. Everybody loves money for it. I lost money for it many times. I'm not getting me wrong. I've been 10 years on it, you know. But now, I mean, after so many years, I learned how to play it. And you know, when you make money in one day, just close and close for the day, and then that's it. Don't keep trading, because that's when you lose it, you know, because the market moves very sharp, and you have to be aware of, you know, the macroeconomic numbers that all these countries are given, you know, like the pound, like the Aussie, the Canadian dollar, American dollar. You have to be aware what the ECB are saying, what the Fed is saying, you know, because those numbers, like let's say interest rate decisions or GDP or unemployment rates, those numbers, you know, that are given once a month per country, that affect in the performance of a currency. So, and that can give you an idea. And if you want to go short or long in a trade, it depends on which currency or which commodity you're trading, you know. Because the good thing about FX, and now with this new platform MT5, is that now you can trade stocks. You know, you can trade Apple, Google, Amazon, all the biggest stocks. You can trade indices, you know, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, and those indices also, they give you good. They move well, and they can give you good profits if you know how to play it. You know, but you have to do a lot of analysis. You have to do a lot of technical analysis and fundamental analysis, so you don't get caught on any bad trade. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. What are the requirements to be a good trader?
Well, you need to be mentally, you know, you have to have emotional control. You need to be prepared to lose. If you lose, just try again, you know, because that's how you do it. Because you did it once, I mean, you might fail 1 or 2 or 3, but you need to have a good mentor as well. You need to have a good mentor. You need to educate yourself. You need to put a lot of effort. If you want to do this as a career, you need to do a lot of effort, you know. So and you have to be focused. That's it. If you want to accomplish and you want to become a good trader, yes, you can. Forex, it give you, it's a good I like the Forex market. It's a good financial market to make money, you know, for retail clients. And in the institutional level, yeah, institutional level is different, you know, because you know, you work with big guys, big clients, and they don't care about doubling their account in 1 day or 1 week or 1 month. They just want consistent returns and steady, you know, 1-3% in a month, 4 or 5 maybe, you know, but you know, compound during the year. That's how you make the long run. Because and that's why institutional clients, they don't need higher leverage because they already had the big money, you know. You know, in the other side, the little ones, the retail clients, they have a little money and they want to make it big, you know. So that's why it's the leverage. You need to, in order to grow your account quicker, you need higher leverage. But many times the higher leverage plays against the traders, and they ended up losing their money. You know, in FX, 85% lose the money, you know. But don't get me wrong, the retail sector is getting better. There are a lot of people out there that have understood the market. They know how the market is going to play. And now the big banks and the market makers are finding new strategies to to make the retail client lose, you know. So because they know the retail people that they're getting very smart, you know, but they always do something to make them lose. That's for sure, you know. And the best thing is to be out of the market in December and January, because between those months, always something happens. Even either gold goes up too much or drops too much, or I don't know, the yen drops 800, 900, 1,000 pips in 1 hour, or something happened during those times. So that's why better I start trading in February when the market is normal, you know, because after New Year's, a lot of crazy shit happens. Or maybe Trump sends a bomb to Iran or another bomb to Russia, and then the dollar plummet, you know. So those are things that I've learned, you know, during this 10 years, you know, in FX. Yeah.
But what is the effect of COVID-19 on the business currently?
Well, you know, to be honest, for us, I mean, we grown, you know, like the whole business has grown so much because, you know, people being locked down at home, they were trying to find ways to make money, to work, to do something, you know, and FX is perfect for it, you know, because everybody's working from home. A lot of people say, okay, let's put money into FX. So the Forex market have grown from 4.5 trillion to 6.6 trillion dollars on per volume daily. So this is, you know, this is something good, you know, for this business, for this segment. And I'm sure it's gonna reach 10 trillion, I might say, within 1 or 2 years, because I mean, this business is a good way to make money for people, you know. Yeah.
Can you describe the Forex market in Peru?
Oh, yeah, well, to be honest, the Forex market here is very, very, like, it's not well advanced. There are not too many smart people here. There are quite a few brokers, retail brokers. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 foreign brokers. There's no regulation in our country for FX. If you go to London, you have the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, which regulates all the brokers, the FX brokers. In Cyprus, you have the SISEC, you know. In Australia, you have the Australian regulator, you know. In Cayman Island, you have the CIMA, Cayman Island Monetary Authority. In Peru, you only have the SBS, the Superintendency of Banking and Insurance, and they only regulate banks, private banks, insurance companies, pension funds, and what else? And security trading houses. But they don't regulate FX because they don't have the brain to create a law to regulate all these brokers that came here in the past 4 or 5 years, maybe 6. And all they do is they just make the client lose, the little clients, the retail clients lose. Because there's no regulation, they can play against the client, they wipe out the spreads, and they make you lose, they make you run out of margin. And when you lose the money, and you see that the broker did something against you, and you don't have anywhere to go to complain, because there is no brain, or here, to be honest, there's no brain from our government to create a law to regulate FX. So those are things that need to be developed here. So that's why I need I wanna do something, you know, for my country, you know. And not only FX, I mean, we are an export company. I mean, country that we produce a lot of agriculture products, minerals, and we don't have a futures exchange. We don't have a commodities exchange. We only have a small stock exchange, you know, which is trading since 1920s or the 30s. but we don't have a futures or commodities exchange, and we produce a lot of commodities. We export a lot of commodities, you know. So that's something I want to do as well, you know. And to do that, we need to create the legislation, pass the law, and start working, you know. And this is more like government involved. But if the government doesn't have the brain, how they gonna create that? They don't even have these ideas. They only think about, oh, let's give health for everybody, roads and water and jobs, but everybody offers the same every 5 years, but they don't know how to create new jobs. They don't know how to create um, um, new opportunities for the people, you know. One sector that I really want to develop here is our service sector. Our service sector is very, very small. It's not like in the US. In the US, the service sector gives them 85% of their GDP. Here, our service sector gives us maybe 1 or 2%, you know, of our GDP. And our GDP is only like 200 billion. It's not like the US, like, which is 20 trillion, you know. So that's a big difference, you know. And if you don't have people who has brain, who you know, to change things, you know, and then, you know, we're gonna keep being the same, you know, third world country ruled by people who even didn't finish high school, you know. And that's the reality of our country. We have 5 presidents, 5 ex-presidents in jail right now because they don't have a brain, they don't have financial stability, I mean, mental stability, because when you run for a president or when you have a very powerful role, you need to focus. You don't need to go behind your thoughts, you know. You need to have a mental stability, and that's what we don't have, you know. And so yeah, let's see how this plays out, you know. I still have a few months. Let's see how we do it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does China affect the market? What are the new plans introduced by China?
Yeah. So basically, China, okay. So China, what they did is that they just copied. Okay, they took the best of blockchain technology. Okay, blockchain was developed by the US. We know, everybody knows that. Okay, so they took the best of the blockchain technology to create their own control financial system that is gonna be implemented, okay, in the world. Okay, this financial system is called quantitative financial system. Okay, which is going to be controlled in the planet Air by China, okay, and on the space by satellites. It's going to be controlled by George Soros, okay. By the way, I worked for the hedge fund of George Soros back in 2007 and 2008 when I was living in New York in the US. So just to let you know, you know, blockchain was created as a decentralized cryptocurrency, as decentralized. So there are no middlemen, no banks in the middle who are gonna take a fee if you transfer money, you know. In this case, with the QFS, the quantitative financial system, so basically what they wanna do, they want to control the world, okay? They want everybody to be under their control, and they want to give free money to the people in exchange to be under QFS system, you know. So this is being implemented. They already have 6G technology, 5G is implementing in the whole world, you know that. And this is going to be a big change, you know. It's going to be a big change for the world, for the people. But you know, unfortunately, many people doesn't know this, and I'm telling you because, you know, so you know what's happening. And this pandemic, which is a plan, it's helping them to finish, to complete this plan, you know, because this is the plan that they have, you know. So now we have crypto, blockchain technology, and we have QFS, and now there are these big giants fighting, okay, China and US, you know, to see, you know, they are fighting and see who to see who's going to be the leader in the world. Whoever controls 5G or 6G, they're going to control the whole world, you know. So that's why it's this race for power and to control also the population in the world, you know. So a lot of things are coming. Soon we're gonna be paying with our faces, not with credit card or debit cards. China is gonna offer free money to the people in order to register under their QFS new financial model. So I mean, a lot of people will want that, you know. So free money, who doesn't want free money? But yeah, so those are the changes that are coming, you know. So paper money is gonna disappear. I would say 5 years, 10 years maximum, and everything's gonna be, you know, or crypto or QFS, you know, any of those. So that's what is coming, you know. Yeah.
So basically, China is paying people money to be on their side.
Yeah, that's their plan. They wanna give, you know, since this electronic money they just created, you know. So that's what they're gonna offer. They're gonna offer the people free money, you know. Oh, come to into my financial system, but we give you free money, you know, and it's gonna be all electronic. So that's a reality. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the elections part. When, why, how are you going to participate in the elections?
Well, the elections are in April 2021. I'm still in talks with my party and two other parties, which I need to straight something out, and then we will start, you know, for campaign. But now it's a little bit different because of this pandemic. Like, well, to be honest, I don't believe in this pandemic, but people are afraid. So now it's going to be a different election because before you have to, you know, you have to go all over the country, fly and do meetings in front of 10,000 people, 5,000 people, speech and talk and give your proposals. But this time it's going to be different. I think it's going to be more via Zoom or via Skype. You know, the most expensive part of these elections is the cost of TV advertisement, which is the most expensive. TV advertisement, radio, newspapers, and also traveling. You know, but to be honest, I don't know how the government will manage that because of, you know, everybody here is afraid. They're afraid about this pandemic. But I hear from one of my friends who is the owner of the very old radio station of Peru. He said that he told me like recently that the president, he's gonna postpone the elections. It's not confirmed yet, but there are some rumors, so we don't know yet. Everybody now is focusing in acquiring almost 30 million vaccines to vaccinate everybody. Wouldn't take wouldn't get vaccinated. I would not.
Okay, so what are you?
Yeah,
Ricardo, what are your personal?
Yeah.
What are your personal skills and credentials to candidate yourself for this position?
Well, you know, to be honest, I am a Peruvian that I lived in the US for many years, and I've been in all over the world, in Europe, India, in Middle East, and I have, you know, I have seen, you know, different countries, different cultures. I have business partners all over the world. My girlfriend's also, she's from overseas. Um, and I see, I noticed that we are very far behind, you know, very far behind in technology, in education. Um, and you know, I have an American mentality, and I don't think like a Peruvian. I think like American. I think like a British. I think different, and I want something different for my country. I want my country to be a first world country, not a third world country. I hate poverty. I hate suffering. I hate corruption, and I want uh, to do well. You know, to do well for the people. My skills. I am a very, you know, intellectual person. I have balls, like, you know, like you know, speaking like this, like I have the courage, and I have the brain, you know, to do something different for our country, something that people don't have. For example, we have a candidate who was a goalkeeper for a soccer team, you know, all his life. Now he's a mayor from one district, and now the media is putting him as a, he looks like a president only because he's white and green eyes, you know, or blue eyes, you know. So, you know, the media here is very fucked up. TV is very fucked up. You know, everything is very, you know, it's a very funny country, beautiful country, but the people make this country really unpleasant sometimes. Um, there's a lot of crime here. A lot of people, especially people from Venezuela who came here from Venezuela, they assault banks and they assault people. So those things that need to change, you know, need to change the security. Sometimes when like foreigners come here for tourism, you know, they get assaulted, you know, they get robbed, you know, they don't even arrive to their hotels and they get robbed, you know, and that's bad, really bad, and I hate that, So I want, you know, I want to straighten things out, you know. The law here is very soft with the criminals, very soft. It's not like in Singapore, you know, like if you rob or if you sell drugs or you steal, you know, you go to jail or you die. Here, no, man. Like it's like the law protects the criminals, you know, and that's bad, you know, because I have friends from all over the world, business partners, and and you know, a very bad image you know, in overseas. And even though we're a very rich country, we have gold, we have big ocean, we have plenty of mineral, we have plenty of agriculture, we have everything, you know, everything. We have coast, we have jungle, we have mountain, and we are such a rich country, but the people made it so poor, you know. Like we should be the country number one in the world, economically speaking, but we're not, because since 500 years, when the Spanish came, they stole all our gold from the Incas, okay? And then every governor, they robbed the country. They took jungle from the Brazilian side. They took more from the Ecuadorian side, from the Chilean side. They took all our richest part where we had all the big copper deposits. You know, everybody ate, you know, Peru. So right now we're smaller because everybody came and they stole from us, you know. So, but we still have very good resources, and I think we can make this country better. Yeah.
What are the main sectors you want to develop as soon as you become the president?
Well, to be honest, I would like to first of all, I would like to renegotiate some contracts that our 5 prior presidents have signed with other countries, where we are giving away our gas for almost free, or our gold for almost free. Like they only pay the foreign companies, they only pay royalties to the Peruvian market. You know, if we renegotiate those contracts and we make some adjustment, our GDP can go from 200 to maybe 400-500 billion, you know, right away. I would like to develop the financial sector. As I said, I want to create a commodities exchange and futures exchange. This way we will help the small farmers, okay, to produce and sell their products. I would like to develop more the mining business, help the little ones to become, you know, to get their projects up and running. Our central bank as well. We need to change our president. He's been there for like 30, 40 years. I think it's enough. He's too old-fashioned for the role, and for the role, he don't deserve to be there anymore. Even though he's keeping the country with very low inflation, steady. We don't have inflation like before in the 80s or early 90s. No, we have a stable economy, but it could be better. It could be better because, you know, if an investor wants to invest in a project here, or let's say in a port, anything above $50 million, it has to go through the central bank, and it cannot go directly from the bank, you know. So those things need to be changed. We need to our agro business, our exports. That's the main focus that I want to work, because that's where the vast majority of people are located, and they suffer because they have some land, they produce some agriculture products, but they don't have anybody to sell it, even the local markets, you know. So those are the things I would like to work. The ocean, we have a big ocean, and everybody from China, from Australia, they come with their big ships and they steal our fishery. We don't have a good marine. We need bigger boats. We don't have a good army. Our army is very like old-fashioned. We need to acquire more like aircraft, more ships, you know. We need to defend our country much better. There are many things to do, you know, develop our cryptocurrency, our financial system, you know, develop more our service industry, because the service industry is what is going to give the most of the money, because everything here is not only the extract segment. Extract means like mining, agriculture, you know, because most of our GDP comes from gold, copper, silver, and other minerals. But not everything is you know, that sector. You know, I want to work on the brain of the people. I want to work with the mass of people, the young professionals who are in college, and when they finish college, they cannot find a job. Why? Because there are no opportunities for engineers, for accountants, for admin, for you know, for you know, all these professional areas, you know. So developing the financial sector or the service sector is gonna help create more jobs, you know. And this pandemic has made our country spend a lot of money without thinking on the consequences of the future. So just to put it this way, we have a minister of economics. She's only 33 years old, and she has no experience other than just working a couple of years on this ministry, you know? So that's how bad we are. Like, we don't have quality of people ruling the country. That's the problem, you know? So it's time for the people, for the well-educated people to rule the country, you know? So yeah, there are plenty of things to do here, many things to do here, but we need people, you know, good people. Yeah.
So you mentioned the 5 agreements. What are they?
The 5 agreements?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You mentioned that you wanted to change 5 agreements regarding gold, regarding mining. What are these
Oh,
about?
oh yeah. For example, we sell our gas to Mexico, okay, for cents per cubic meter. Here, our own gas is sold to the Bolivian country, to the Bolivian people. They pay maybe less than $1 per one balloon of gas, which is gonna last them for to cook on at their home for a month or a month and a half or 2 months. Here we pay like $9 or $10. So we pay like we produce our own gas and we pay a lot of money to get it, you know, for our own consumption. That's an agreement that the president who signed that agreement is hiding in the U.S. Well, I think I think he's in jail by now in the U.S. We're waiting for them to send him back here, so he's gonna go into trial here. So that's one agreement, and then the mining agreement, where all the mining companies, the big ones, they come and they take all our minerals, all our resources, and they only pay royalties. I think it's 3% royalties, you know? They don't pay taxes. They might pay a little tax, you know? And then our fishery as well. We export a lot of fish, but also, the contracts are bad. Also, our ports, our ports are controlled by foreigners, Chile, and one company is DP World. I think they're from Dubai, but they gave the port for 30, 40, 50 years lease, but they're not giving enough, they're not paying enough taxes for the country, and who are all these presidents who signed those contracts? They're in jail. So those contracts needs to be renegotiated. And that's the first thing we would do, renegotiate those, because it's enough. People here suffer so much. People don't have money to eat. The informality is so high. You have no idea how many people on this pandemic has died from not eating. And the news put them out, they died for COVID. No, they died because they didn't have food to eat, And informality is a very, very, very high problem here. We have like 70% of informality, like who sell clothes, who sell candies, who sell a little things on the streets, So, and why is that? Because since the 40 or 50 years, our current presidents, all they did, they sold all the big companies to foreigners, and they only pay royalties. They don't pay enough taxes. They don't help the communities, because all these big projects and big companies, they operate not in the capital. They operate all over the country, and all over the countries where all the poor people are located. And these companies, they invoice per year billions of dollars, and the small communities of 500 people, they don't even have a soccer field, schools, or hospitals, So that's because they did bad agreements with the prior presidents, So all this needs to be renegotiated, and there are a lot of more things to do, So yeah.
Yeah. So the other question is, you mentioned a lot trying to change the Peruvian mentality.
Yes.
Don't you think that you can be criticized for bringing an American mentality into Peru and not trying to develop the Peruvian mentality on its own terms?
Yeah, well, yeah, what I want, I would like people to find their own ways to make some income, and trading online is a good way to make some income online, I would like to guide the people how to not focus in trying to get a job or trying to sell something on the street, to make some money, to make a living, So I would like to make the people to think a little bit, to use the brain, because there is a lot of people with a lot of talent here, a lot of talent, a lot of people with very smart brains, but they don't have the the opportunity. They don't have that, you know, person who's gonna push them or motivate them to do something different, you know. So I know it's challenging, but it's not gonna hurt to try, you know. So what we need is a good leader, you know. We never had a good leader. All we had criminals in power, criminals. That's what we had. Really, we had criminals. And that's not good because the subconscious of the population in Peru, they don't believe in political people. They don't believe in candidates anymore. They think, oh, I don't know who I'm gonna vote with. Okay, I'm gonna vote with this. Boom. I vote with him for him because I know he's either way he's gonna steal. You know, that's their mentality, you know, like, oh, he's gonna rob the country anyways. If he doesn't do it, he will do it, or he, you know. So that's their mentality, you know. Oh, he steal money, but he's doing at least school here or a hospital here, you know. So, but that's their mentality, and that needs to be changed, you know. If they have a good leader, okay, they might follow the leader and they might change the way of thinking, you know, and the way to see life. And you know, let's see how it plays out, you know. Let's see. I'm still working on it, and I hope it goes well. It's for the better of my country, you know.
Sure. So
Yeah.
the other question is like the other Asian countries like Singapore and Hong Kong mainly depended on education for development. Now you are depending mainly on economy and online business. Don't you think that you are limited by your own experience rather than seeking new opportunities in other sectors?
No, yeah, of course. Education is priority here. We need to educate the people. Our education system here is very, very primitive, very bad. We have a very low ranking of in education, you know. So that's a must. Of course, education is a must. We intend to put to allocate a big budget from the GDP into education, you know, primary school. We need to get better teachers, also the university as well. We need to make them more, they need to add more value to the students, you know. Yes, of course, this online trading and this developing the service sector will help for the students who are in university or who graduated from school, from college or the university, you know. But of course, we need to focus in the future. So we need to take care of the kids, you know. As I said, education is a must, and for that we need a good minister of education who can bring all their knowledge into the country, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. My other question is, you can never succeed alone by yourself. You have to work in coordination with other parties, with other people. So you must come to a compromise. How much a compromise are you ready to go for?
Yeah, well, basically, we have a team of people. We have a team of experienced people who's been in politics for a long time, and we also have very important people in the business sector, in the local business sector, who also they are willing to change. They are tired of seeing what we see every 5 years. Every 5 years, the new government, they do whatever they want, and the people from the business people, they are also tired of it, you know. So we have a big plan. They are also wants to do, they think they want to do well for the country. They are tired of every foreigner that comes here, every foreign company that comes here and invests some money, but they take all the meat and they give us only the bones, you know. So yeah, that's a must, you know. Yeah, we need a team. We need to partner up with other political parties. So far, we are partnered with 4 parties. We merged into one, so we are 5 total. And then these are parties that I'm also have a relationship with. They are more center right and more center. They also have, you know, merged with another parties. So yeah, it's a teamwork. It's not just one party. It's a teamwork, and you need to have the best people for it, you know. And yes, I do have very qualified people, people who has, you know, degrees overseas, who work in another country. There were CEOs of different very important companies locally as well. So yeah, it's a team. You know, you need a team. You need to work it out with all other parties and avoid conflict. You know, because if you have a conflict between the Congress and the, the president, you know, that's a problem. You know, so we don't want that. We don't want that. We want to do the best for the country. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. So my other question and my last question is, sometimes people, let's say national heroes, presidents, great people in the countries, and South America is famous for many national heroes. After they become the president, they change to the negative. What are the guarantees that you will not change to a similar leader?
Well, you know why they change? Because they never had um, experience managing big funds. Because when you manage a country, okay, it's like a company where you have assets, you have liabilities, you have employees, you have ministers, you have, it's like a company you need to rule, and you have a budget that you need to take care of and spend it well. Okay, so none of our presidents before worked at a hedge fund or at an investment bank managing or trading billions of dollars. They don't have that experience. You know, they don't have emotional control. Why? Because they never made that much money in their life. They never make over, I might say, $10,000 in their life, and they go into president and they go crazy, you know, because they never make not even $5,000 per month in their life. That's the truth. All our candidates, they never make that much money in their life. That's the truth. That's why when they get into power, or they say, oh, we have 200 billion under management, you know, of our GDP. Okay, let's put 500 million here, 500 million there, and I take 5% commission, I take 5% commission, and then the auditor entity comes and they find out and they go and they get in trouble and they go to jail. You know, they don't have this, they don't have financial stability in financial mental stability, you know. So I don't want to change. That's not my point, because I've been successful since I was young. So for me, I'm not, listen, I drove the hardest cars. I did what I had to do in my life. I know what I want. Money doesn't buy me. Money doesn't, I had everything, you know, everything in my life that I needed. And I accomplished my goals since I was a kid, you know, 25, I reached all my goals. And I reached success very early in my life. So it doesn't impress me, you know, to do this, or it doesn't impress me to have power. I just want to straighten out. That's all, you know. And it's a good advantage for me, because if you see my CV, my resume, I work for Soros Fund Management, managing $14 billion when I was 26, 27 years old, 28, you know. And I started my financial career at a hedge fund in Greenwich, in Connecticut, managing 11 billion, you know. So those are big numbers that you are trading, you know, big numbers that you are trading, you're managing, you know. So if I had that mentality, that stability on my mind back then, now that I'm 40, I'm sure I have more stability. I just want to straighten out here, you know, because we really need a good leader. That's what we need, really. Yeah.
Great. What else would you like to say?
Well, I would like to thank you for the interview. It was a pleasure to meet with you. I know we're a little bit delayed. I was traveling, so finally I made it home. And I think, you know, everything is possible in life if you have a good purpose and you have a good will to do it and to do it for the people. I think things can be done properly, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. It has been a more than great, more than fantastic talking to you, Ricardo. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your input. Thank you for everything.
Yes, thank you to you, thank you, and I hope we can do another time, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Next time
Yeah.
when you are the president.
All right, thank you. You will know. Don't worry, we're in touch, okay?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Ricardo.